This is part 2 of making all my food from scratch for my 25th birthday. It was time to make the gluten-free banana bread where I added mashed bananas, vanilla extract, eggs, mixing it together, adding the almond flour, and then I worked on my second sourdough stretch and folds. And then my cookies were done. To the banana bread, these were my gluten-free banana bread since some of my guests couldn't eat gluten, and then I added some yummy almond fragipan in the middle, and then some sliced almonds on top. And then I popped this baby into the oven. Now it was time for my third stretch and folds for my sourdough bread. And then I packed the desserts, the cream cheese stuffed carrot cake cookies and the black sesame mochi cake. And this was the night before my party. The next morning was the day of my party and it was time to make my vegetable soup. I picked some celery from my garden, added carrots, onions, cabbage, tomatoes, potatoes, kidney beans, vegetable broth, bay leaves, all my spices, salt and pepper, mix them together, boiled, and simmer for 30 minutes. Afterwards, it was time to stuff my sourdough bread with cheese and jalapeno. This is one of my all-time crowd favorites. All my friends and family love this flavor and it goes really well with dipping into the vegetable soup. So I stuffed it with cheese, and this is one of my jalapenos from my garden, which I was so excited to use. I finished adding the toppings to the 2 loaves and let it sit to proof for about 2 to 3 hours before I placed it in the Dutch oven at 450 for 20 minutes with the lid on and 20 minutes with the lid off. They look so pretty. Now my pizza dough is already risen all the way. Cut them into 3. So I bought new pizza pans for this, and I made a heart-shaped one for one of my friends that does not eat pork. So I added olive oil, pesto, tomato sauce, my mozzarella cheese that I grated, Parmigiano Reggiano, pepperoni, red onions, bell peppers, mushrooms, tomatoes, and then I made a ricotta cheese filling that I topped on top, and this is the same thing with the heart pizza, but it was without pepperoni. Added some garlic paste, and then my 3 pizzas were done. Now time to put my sourdough in the oven, and I checked on my outside decorations to see how they were doing. Sourdough didn't turn out exactly the way that I wanted, but it was still good regardless. Not a perfect loaf, but it'll do for this party, and there was a heart in there. And then my pizzas were done, and then it was time to serve. I hope everyone enjoyed the food as much as I did. Thanks for watching along.